Hey, everybody, welcome back to the JKWD podcast. Hope you are doing awesome. Kelvin, how you doing? Other than the fact that I probably just blew your eardrums. I'm using a different
Well,
microphone.
luckily for
I'm trying
you,
to
one of
shout.
them is plugged up and I can't hear through it. So it's all
Okay.
bubbling into my other ear. Makes it very strange when something I'm looking at on the right side brings in the audio from the left side, and it kind of messes with your brain a little bit. However,
Interesting.
I assume that this plugging thing will stop uh, soon. I'm doing things, and to be perfectly honest with you, Mr. Shear, I'm doing pretty darn good. I'm in a great mood. Been having some great conversations lately. Been meeting some new people. Been doing some semi-important things in my life for other people and organizations, and I'm starting to feel like I might be worthy of staying on the planet.
You know, I don't know if that's a particularly high bar, but
Well, there's more to that, but who's
we
got
like having you around.
There's more to that, but who's got an hour and a half to delineate that stuff? You know what I mean? I did find out recently that I need a new spell checker. And I need to stop it from being me.
Well, I was going to say the problem with spell checkers, like automated ones, is they only find words that are spelled incorrectly.
Yeah.
So if you use the wrong there or
I was going to use Grammarly,
or
but strangely enough, it doesn't integrate with the stuff I needed to integrate with, at least not the free version, and I haven't decided I wanted to pay for it yet. I think what I really need to do is just start earlier, take more time, stuff like that.
yeah, it's always a good thing to do. So.
Yeah, and since one of my best friends on the planet happens to be an editor.
Well, that's your fault.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Never make friends with editors. Never make friends with editors. Get everything.
But all in all, life is good. It's been a little chilly up here in upstate New York, but the weather hasn't been bad. Does that make sense?
It's February. You're kidding me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've got snow.
It's been chilly,
but it hasn't been a real problem. But it's been a little chilly, and but it's okay. Enough so that a mouse actually found its way into my house the other day. So we're gonna have to go have a.
Oh, you got a mouse in the house?
We're gonna have to have a little summit conference with that sucker. Yeah.
Mouse in the house.
I did not invite.
Kelvin's gonna have Kelvin's got a Dr. Seuss problem.
I don't intend to have it for long. That's all I got to say. Oh, but how about you, Mr. Shearer? How you been?
Need a cat in the hat to take care of the mouse in the house.
Ooh. That means I'd have to bring a cat in the hat. Well, I got the cat door. That's a whole other conversation. Never mind that.
Yeah, I never.
What are you up to? You're smiling today. You got this unusual smile on your face. Is that? I don't know. Is that delirium?
I'm gonna go with that.
Actual happiness mode, or what's up?
Yeah, no. It's been a week, but it's gonna be another week. So, the good thing about time is that it keeps passing. So, when you have a rough couple of days, you just go to bed and you wake up, and it's a new day, and you get to try again.
What does that song say again? Time keeps on slipping into the future. Is that what the song says?
I think it's ticking, but we're
same thing.
Same idea.
Yeah. Keeps going. Going. And actually, I like that for the most part. I mean, I like.
Yeah, it would stink to just
kind of fond of the planet. I'm gonna miss it when I'm gone. I think maybe
we don't really know what happens.
We don't know.
Well, so far, we do know that Kettle on Fire hasn't made its way to the other side. So while you're on this side, of things. You can go get yourself some bone broth, some delicious soups, and the like for 10% less than you would if you just try to get it straight away. So if you go over to kettleandfire.com, you fill up your box with one soup or two soups or 15 soups and bone broths or however many you want. And if you use code BetterHumanoid at checkout, they're going to give you 10% off because they love you so much. They love you, our listeners. They think you are better humans. So
A cut above, they say.
that's right. Again, that's Kettle and Fire, KETTLEANDFIRE.com. Use code BetterHumanhood at checkout for 10% off. And if we play some music here, we'll probably be less babbly on the other side, but maybe not.
Josh and Kelvin World Domination Podcast, where we talk about better humanhood and teach you how to dominate your world. You ready? Here we go.
Howdy.
Hey. You're shaking your head like I'm saying ridiculous stuff.
Here we go. What? No. It was wonderful.
Someday we're going to go back through all the videos that you have and just pull out the faces you make when I talk.
No, because I've decided that I don't need to keep those on the computer. That's just a lot of space.
It's a lot of, it's a lot.
But occasionally, when it's really, really good, I do a screenshot just in case you want to keep it. Maybe I should screenshot more often. So.
Yeah. So here we are. It's the middle of February. This is about the time that anybody who had some periodic resolution is going. If you were going to the gym, all of a sudden you busted out. You're like, this is the year I'm going to go to the gym every day. Yeah, you're done right about now. So now's a good time to reassess where you're at and start back up.
It is.
Yeah, we always found Valentine's Day to be about the line there. And there we are, Valentine's Day this week.
Huh. You know what I found out? I found out that because of my age and medical plan, I have free access to an amazing assortment of gyms and athletic facilities with which to go and exercise and keep myself in good shape.
I bet one of those gyms is a block and a half from your house, too.
As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for the trees in the middle, I could see it from here.
Yeah, I know that gym well because every time I come to your house, I have to turn around in that parking lot. I drive by the entrance to your little area there.
Yes, you do. Let the record show I have not been there yet. And there's a lot of gyms. We have this thing called silver sneakers, I guess. I guess that's, athletics for old folks or something. I don't consider myself old, so I haven't gone. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Okay, well, I don't think they require you to actually go to like a chair yoga class or anything like that.
Actually, I should try yoga. But anyway, I'm in pretty good shape. What I tend to tell people is, I may not be getting a lot of strength exercise, but since my office is on the second floor of my house and I forget stuff on the first floor a lot, I get plenty of exercise. I may not get a lot of steps on Fitbit, but I get a lot of floors. Oh, Kelvin did like 37 flights today. Really? Yeah.
Only got 500 steps, but they counted.
It's bad when you go downstairs to get something and you forget what you went to get by the time you get to the bottom of the stairs. And it's like, what was that? And then I come back up And as I get back up, okay, oh yeah, I remember now. And then, I mean,
You go back down, you get it, you come back up, and you're like, I left my Fitbit. I didn't get credit for those flights. I better go do that again.
Man, I hate it when that happens. Oh, I have done that. I have just and it's like, now I have to do it over again, but I can't prove I did it the first time. But
that's right.
Hey, but that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one thing when you're using like a Fitbit. Like I use a pedometer on my phone.
Yeah.
Which means that if I have to plug my phone in, because the battery's low,
you have a problem.
I don't get steps. My steps don't count.
Well, you got those little power packs you can like put on you and plug them in while you go.
Yeah, then I'd have to get one of those.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Is that on your Christmas list? Well, no, not for you.
I want to cut down on the amount of junk I get laying around.
Oh, it comes in really handy, man. When I forget to charge my phone, I'll tell you what.
Well, I have
two of them. One of them I received as a gift from a mutual friend of ours, and the other one I got. I was actually looking at getting them as premiums for people who subscribe to Vitamin K.
Oh, there you go.
And stuff like that. And they're really inexpensive. So I've been testing it out and actually it's pretty good. You're getting more power with smaller things all the time. So
cool.
I got it in my favorite color. So if I get that engraved with the intensely positive logo,
there you go.
That could be a powerful thing. Did you check that out?
Yeah. Powerful. I got it.
Powerful. Yeah.
No, I don't have a forget to charge my phone problem. I have an overuse problem. Yeah, you just between taking pictures of the baby and the dog and running audio on it most of the day, and because if I'm not listening to a podcast, I'm keeping everybody happy with some music and all that good stuff.
See, so the little power thing. They have ones now that you can just lay the phone on it and recharge it. I haven't quite figured those out.
Yeah, I've got one of those tables.
I don't think it's as simple as I said it.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I have a charging table, and it has a wireless charger right in the middle of it, so I can just lay my phone on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it also has the USB port on the table, so you can plug a phone in, and it has a regular outlet, so I get a lot out of it. I mean, I have to plug the table in. It's not.
Got it.
But it also has a lamp on it. So it's
multi-purpose.
It's a very useful table.
There you go.
Charge a lot of stuff with it, and it can light the room. Wow,
that's magic,
right?
So speaking of lighting stuff up, with Valentine's Day coming up, we're expecting have a lot of hearts lit up, right? Or are they already lit? And just looking to do something else. But Valentine's Day is it's one of those days. I've been married 3 times, right? I would sometimes forget Valentine's Day.
Oh no.
And that was bad. Or I would do something. One time, I thought it would just be cute to leave the gift I was going to give my wife, pretend I forgot it, but it would be like on her pillow when she went to bed, and she would be happy. What I discovered was
after she spent the day angry.
That's not the
just bringing it back up to zero. That's not the goal.
That's not the typical male thinking, or maybe it's not typical male thinking because most smart males would know better, I suppose. But yeah.
Well, I always remember Valentine's Day. It was our first date.
Really?
It was meant to be a Valentine's Day singles pity party, and we were the only 2 who showed up. My wife asked me that day, "Hey, you interested in a relationship?" And I'm like, "No, I've been single for a year, and I finally like myself."
Oh my goodness!
And turns out I was wrong. That I did want a relationship, and that she was the right one. And here we are. This is 10 years since our first date.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Let the M&Ms fly.
That's right. Someday, if you ask Kelvin nicely, he will tell you that story.
You know, I'm wondering if I should actually do that. It was fun at the bowling alley, but as it went.
Well, the idea is that they have to find you in person to hear the story. So,
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, it would be very nice.
yeah.
Yes, I have a great story for M&Ms. It's a wonderful thing. And it endeared Jen to me. And then she met Josh and took him some M&Ms. Anyway, that one will go down in no, I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. But anyway, fun stuff. Anyway, Valentine's Day, man. Like,
Yeah.
here it is.
Yeah, it is here. Just for fun, I thought we might learn about Valentine's Day together. So I pulled up the Wikipedia entry for Saint Valentine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Now, I haven't read this yet. And as a Jew, I don't know much about saints. So I thought maybe we'd learn together.
I've heard stories.
Saint Valentine was a widely recognized 3rd century Roman saint. So Italian dude from about 1800 years ago, I guess. Commemorated in Christianity on February 14th, Valentine's Day, as we know. From the High Middle Ages, his saint's day is associated with a tradition of courtly love. Right, we knew that. Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 different saints' lives for Saint Valentine on February 14th, but they are probably the same man.
Oh.
Interesting. Saint Valentine was a clergyman, either a priest or a bishop, in the Roman Empire who ministered to persecuted Christians.
Mm.
He was martyred, and his body buried at a Christian cemetery. Is he was martyred a euphemism for he was killed?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And his body buried at a Christian cemetery on the Via Flaminia, close to the Ponte Milvio in the north of Rome on February 14th, which has been observed as the feast of St. Valentine since 496 AD.
Wow.
Relics of him were kept in the church and catacombs of St. Valentino in Rome, which remained an important pilgrim site throughout the Middle Ages until the relics of St. Valentine were transferred to the church of Santa Prassede during the pontificate of Nicholas IV. His skull, crowned with flowers, is exhibited in the basilica.
Sorry, say that again?
His skull, crowned with flowers,
Got it. Okay.
is exhibited in the Basilica of Santa Maria in Cosmedin, Rome. Other relics of him were taken to Whitefriars Street Carmelite Church in Dublin, Ireland, where they remain. This house of worship continues to be a popular place of pilgrimage, especially on Valentine's Day for those seeking love.
Somehow.
For Saint Valentine of Rome, along with Saint Valentine of Terni, abstracts of the acts of the 2 saints were in nearly every church and monastery in Europe.
Wow.
Saint Valentine is commemorated in the Anglican Communion and the Lutheran churches on February 14th. In the Eastern Orthodox Church, he is recognized on July 6th. In addition, the Eastern Orthodox Church observes the feast of Hero Martyr Valentine, Bishop Interamna on July 30th. In 1969, the Roman Catholic Church removed his name from the general Roman calendar, leaving his liturgical celebration to local calendars. The use of the pre-1970 liturgical calendar is also authorized under the conditions indicated in the Motu Proprio Summorum Pontificum of 2007. The Roman Catholic Church continues to recognize him as a saint, listing him as such in the February 14th entry in Roman Martyrology, authorizing liturgical veneration of him on February 14th in any place where that day is not devoted to some other obligatory celebration, in accordance with the rule that on such a day, the Mass may be that of any saint listed in the Martyrology for that day.
I'm missing something here.
So it sounds then like as of 1969, they took him off the holiday, maybe because Hallmark took it over. I don't know.
I was going to say, because I want to know how we got from that to Hallmark.
Well, okay, so recognized as a tradition of courtly love, and that's what Hallmark picked up on, right?
Yeah.
It is interesting the way they say this. He was martyred, which probably means he was executed. But he was buried in a Christian
You can look that up
cemetery,
specifically.
which means that he was buried in a Christian cemetery. It does say he was buried in a Christian cemetery, so they weren't that mad at him. It's not like they kicked him out.
Uh-huh.
And his skull is on display in Rome. So they must have a much different relationship with death than we do over here, because you don't see a lot of skulls out on display in churches here.
With or without flowers, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Martyred. One who chooses to suffer death rather than renounce religious principles. One who makes great sacrifices or suffers much in order to further a belief, cause, or principle. One who endures great suffering. One who makes a great show of suffering in order to arouse sympathy. There's a few more of those here, but I'm still not seeing how that got to Hallmark. But did he die in the name of love?
It doesn't say. Saint Valentine of Rome was martyred. The feast of Saint Valentine, also known as Saint Valentine's Day, was established in 496 to be celebrated February 14th.
Well, somewhere there was a transformation.
Yeah. Let me Google. When did Valentine's Day become secular?
Maybe I was innocent all those years. I forgot to give flowers and stuff. And actually, truth be told, I used to buy jewelry on Valentine's Day, which was that whole flower thing. I see no reason to spend that kind of money on something that's just going to shrivel up and die in a week. And but that was me.
Well, some believe that Valentine's Day is celebrated in the middle of February to commemorate the anniversary of St. Valentine's death or burial, which probably occurred around AD 270. Others claim that the Christian church may have decided to place St. Valentine's feast in the middle of February in an effort to Christianize the pagan celebration of Lupercalia. Celebrated on February 15th, Lupercalia was a fertility festival dedicated to Faunus, the Roman god of agriculture, as well as to the Roman founders Romulus and Remus.
Well,
to begin
that gets us closer.
Yeah, to begin the festival, members of the Luperci, an order of Roman priests, would gather at a sacred cave where the infants Romulus and Remus, the founders of Rome, were believed to have been cared for by a she-wolf, or lupa. The priests would sacrifice a goat for fertility and a dog for purification. They would then strip the goat's hide into strips, dip them into the sacrificial blood, and take to the streets, gently slapping both women and crop fields with the goat hide. Far from being fearful, Roman women welcomed the touch of the hides because it was believed to make them more fertile in the coming year. Later in the day, according to legend, all the young women in the city would place their names in a big urn. The city's bachelors would each choose a name and become paired for the year with his chosen woman. These matches often ended in marriage.
Messed that tradition up, didn't we?
So, yeah, well, if they didn't end in marriage, they'd be back the next year to put their names in an urn again, I guess.
Well, there you go. There it came.
Interesting.
So once I got married, there was no use for Valentine's Day anymore.
And then
Hey,
as
we're
we
right all
keep going,
along. Oh,
as we keep going here, the English poet Geoffrey Chaucer was the first to record St. Valentine's Day as a day of romantic celebration in the 1375 poem Parliament of Fools, writing, "For this was sent on St. Valentine's Day, when every fool cometh there to choose his mate."
huh.
And the reason I said foul instead of fool is because it's written
They spell it.
FOUL in the Middle English. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
got it. Okay. So
so yeah, this is taken
let's
from
translate all of that.
This is taken from history.com, so from the History Channel. So yeah, okay, so let's translate all that. Go ahead. What do you read?
Oh, I read that we're all suckers. No, yeah, that was it. Started out from they made it into something later. So I guess they're hoping to stay fertile and stuff. But that was to get
Well, that
bride.
was first, right? So that's what it was before the Christian celebration. And I don't know, at the risk of angering some people, this happens a lot, right? Like, you look at Christmas and the symbols surrounding Christmas, like
Mm-hmm.
a lit tree,
Mm-hmm.
has a lot to do with birth and death of Jesus, right? No, it was a pagan festival called Yule where they would light everything up because it was the darkest time of the year. Same with Hanukkah, by the way. It happens the same time of year, Festival of Lights. Yeah, pagan celebration that was co-opted for religious reasons. Same with Easter, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's supposed to be the weekend of resurrection.
correct.
I don't know what chocolate bunnies have to do with that, but
now it's Earth Day because
also happens in that area. But
yeah.
But bunnies are associated with the pagan festival that happens at the same time. So,
well, what they say about bunnies. So maybe that. No, but that's not an Easter thing. That would be bunnies would be on Valentine's Day, really, wouldn't it? They're never going to listen to us again. Now
the church has
Valentine's Day.
The church does have a history of co-opting pagan festivals with their own holidays, and it makes some sense that would have happened with Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Interesting history there.
That means we made Valentine's Day a religion.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sort of.
I don't know that. I don't know that anybody be interested in being slapped with goat hides. Yeah, so
it sounds like a lot of fun with me, but things change over time.
So I get that. I get the pairing. Valentine's Day is often a day for. I'd say for pairing singles. That's what happened with my wife and I. But I get the feeling that things would have headed a different direction if instead of going to breakfast and ice skating that day, I had showed up with a goat hide and started smacking her around.
Especially since it was dipped in blood.
Yeah,
that could have been different. Much, much different than the whole M&M story. So
yeah,
I'm gonna have to write that up one day just for grins and giggles. I think I can charge for the M&M method. Yeah,
add it to your relationship coaching.
Yeah, there you go. That'll work. Yeah,
specifically
if you like M&Ms, that's right.
Right.
Yeah,
and
work that out.
Kelvin won't even add the charge of the M&Ms onto it.
That is correct.
It'll be incorporated in a regular coaching session.
Oh, that takes that to a different level, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. Those were the days, my friend. Good thing that ended. Anyway, this is a weird issue. So you got to admit, when we first doing that, because we were, for the listening audience, we were involved in this group called Spark. And basically, so what would that stand for? It was
the Syracuse Professional and Recreational Club.
Yeah.
So the idea was that it was a young
Mostly for bowling and
professionals.
drinking. I mean,
Well,
recreation is bowling and drinking, yeah.
Well, I mean, we had that bowling league once a year, but we were getting together every couple of weeks.
Mm.
For different things throughout the year. A lot of people only came for the bowling league, but we would go. We'd have a board game night once a week.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us, and
I didn't know about that.
There'd be pool afternoons, or we go to a bar where we knew that the traffic would be light on like a Sunday at 2:00. It wouldn't be a football bar or whatever. Or we wouldn't go during football season, and we'd shoot pool.
And I'm not even sure how I got there. Somebody, I didn't meet you there. So who got me to that? There must have been somebody at a party.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me in on that. It was interesting, yeah, but it was fun. And then
maybe I got you there because we'd known each other a few years already.
That could have been. Yeah, you were looking out for me. I trying to keep me out of trouble, and then
or give you or
peanut M&M story,
or at least give you a safe place to get in trouble where you could be supervised.
Well, there's that. Yeah, but no goat hides. So yeah, but anyway. So that's Valentine's Day. So what are you going to do for Valentine's Day? Are you a celebrant of Valentine's Day?
Well, I don't really have much of a choice.
Well, I mean, that doesn't mean because I know people who just don't want nothing to do with it.
Well, I mean, it being the anniversary of our first date, if I chose not to celebrate that, I might not be married.
That's correct.
Yes.
I apologize for being so shallow.
Well, I always try to get a sentimental gift, and because this releases Valentine's week, it comes out before Valentine's Day. I'm not going to reveal what that is.
Don't tell us nothing.
Exactly, I'm not going to reveal what that is because I don't want anybody jumping the gun on it. But I always try to keep it. I always try to make it I always try to keep it inexpensive, but sentimental. And then we try to go out for dinner. Last year, I don't remember if we went out for dinner because Marlena was just about 2 months old. This year was supposed to be Jen's turn to pick something. I don't know if she has. So I don't know what we'll be doing this year. It's on a Friday night. And we often wind up during Savannah Restaurant Week. There are 2 restaurant weeks a year, and one of them happens to come right around Valentine's Day. So a lot of times we wind up at restaurants that we haven't been to during Restaurant Week, which is strange because if you're aware of what Restaurant Week is in most places, and I think Syracuse probably does this too.
They have what is it they have now? Oh man, I can't think of the name of it.
But they
go downtown and eat cheap food and.
Well, no, I mean there's the Taste. Yeah, there's always the
Taste of Syracuse.
Well, they have one of those in Savannah too, where they get a bunch of vendors out. But Restaurant Week, there's all these different fancy restaurants put together a $25 fixed price menu. Where you walk in and they're like, for $25 you can get, you can pick from these appetizers, these entrees, and these desserts. And if you want to order a glass of wine or a beer with it, then you pay extra. But the idea is to get you to come to a restaurant that you've never been to before, that you wouldn't usually go out to.
Right.
And those fixed price menus are never something that's on the normal menu. So they only do it for restaurant week.
Right.
And it always confuses me. So, well, why would I come to a restaurant that I don't usually go to get something that they don't usually make? Like that's not going to entice me. That's not going to entice me to come back to the restaurant because the thing I liked is not going to be on the menu next time I come back.
True enough.
But we often make it we try to make Valentine's Day or thereabouts and our wedding anniversary a nice dinner. Some years we've gone a little nicer than our budget should have allowed, but it definitely our most expensive meal ever was around Valentine's Day.
Cool. Well, there you go. So here's hoping that many more of those slip into your future.
Yeah. How about you? Do you have any Valentine's traditions? I mean, I know that.
No.
Okay.
I continue breathing.
Okay, that's a good one to have.
I do have one friend from time to time. We kind of just send each other a Valentine's Day card or a call anyway, just for to say we got one. But it's not like it's a long-term friendship, but it's a long-term friendship, and just to get one. But I'm okay with not getting any. Really, we had a conversation once about those little hearts in school. Do they do that anymore in the schools? Those
those candy hearts. I was going to make a sidetrack on those candy hearts. Because I love those candy hearts. Like as candy, and I know that they're not most people's favorite candy because they're kind of chalky and stale. But
not quite Kool-Aid type stuff.
But they're not as sweet as a lot of candies.
Right.
They're originally, I don't know if NECCO still makes them, the New England Confectionery Company.
I have no idea.
But they make these things called NECCO wafers as well, and it's basically the same stuff as the candy hearts, but they're like little round like wafers. They're round wafers.
I've seen those. Yeah.
Yeah. And most people hate them. And I'm like, they're one of my favorite candies. And I don't know if that's because I grew up in New England and they were local to us, and just people in New England are bitter and heartless. But
well, let the record show. There you go. But I liked them, and they're crunchy.
Yeah,
and not in milk, but
not in milk. Like
that was a joke.
Like
Captain Crunch.
I was going to say like you were eating them like cereal.
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
There's a store in Syracuse here in Destiny, which if you don't know what Destiny is, it's a
giant mall.
It's 2.4 million square feet of mall and shopping with a couple cool comedy club, got a Dave and Buster's over there, got a little race car track inside on the second floor. It's cool stuff. I mean, small cars, not the big ones. Go-karts, that's it. Anyway, what was I saying before I interrupted myself?
I think you're headed toward candy store.
Yes. And that, I think it's the name of it. The candy store on the third floor. There is nothing in there but candy. All the candy you had as a child that you thought they didn't make anymore? It's in that store.
Oh, yeah.
It is incredible. It is a diabetic coma waiting to happen. Man, the chocolate is incredible. And they have everything. Remember those sugar daddies and sugar babies?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, still there.
My favorite was always, we used to go to the Bing Theater, which is now, they closed and then they've reopened as kind of an art center in Springfield, Mass. But it was a second-run movie theater down the street from where I grew up. So it was a block away. We used to go there all the time. It was like $3 for a movie.
Right.
But they always had Charleston chews in the freezer.
Yes.
So I would get frozen Charleston chews would be my movie snack.
No, wait a minute. Was that the?
Those are the
Those are
long
little
ones.
ones.
No, they're the long ones that are like chocolate over nougat.
Oh yeah. So they have everything here. I mean, it's scary, is what it is. I did a photo shoot a few years ago where a young lady wanted to do a little photo shoot of her child in that place, and it was like, I didn't know they made this stuff anymore. It was amazing.
And then you
I
found out that they didn't.
and that's the last time I've been because I don't want to go back.
And then you found out that they don't make it anymore, that it's still all left over from 1988.
No, it's still there. And they got new stuff, because they got stuff they make on their own. So, yeah, I get the name of that sucker. That give them some business on Valentine's Day.
Right.
They crazy. And then maybe they want to go see a show at the comedy club,
There you go.
Never want to do so. But that's, yeah. So that's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we used to do our annual. Come have a beer because we're coming to town. We used to do it over there, World of Beer.
Oh yes, it's still there, I believe.
Yeah, that's not where we do our thing anymore.
No.
Because the place we stayed moved out from Manlius all the way out to Fabius, so it would be an hour in, hour out.
I know you want to do that, but that was a store called World of Beers. That's also.
Yeah, we have a couple here in Savannah. A couple of those.
World of Beers.
Yeah,
that's just crazy. There are people who'd stay and try to sample everything. I'm not that guy. 2 beers in, I'm done.
Especially if you're having them with Josh, because you wind up with a 12% stout is one of them. Then.
Oh yes, they do have those. They have funny names too. Yeah, so there's more Valentine's Day. Won't help those people who are out in Bangladesh, but right here in River City-ish, well, we have people come in from Canada who can come do that.
Yeah, it's true.
We get a lot.
Canada's not all that far from you.
No, a couple hours actually, depending on how you go. Straight up 81.
Yep.
Right into A land. Yeah, I hear they don't like that, but hey, first things first. That's what they say, eh?
Hey.
Let the record show I have plenty of Canadian friends who like me just the same. So anyway, well, there you go. That was our fun for almost Valentine's Day.
Yeah. So
now we know where it came from and how we mutated it into what it is today.
And
so there's really no reason to get mad if somebody doesn't celebrate it with you because, well,
actually, this one was interesting, right? Because we talked a little bit about Christmas and Easter, and they kept the Christmas tree, and they kept the Easter bunny, but there's no Valentine's goat. We might have to.
Oh, we got a new thing to do, don't we? No. Well, on that note, Mr. Shear.
I'm going to have to remember that because, our next Masonic meeting is the night before Valentine's Day.
Well, don't let them get your goat. I couldn't stand it. I had to try that. All right. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, Kelvin, thank you for being here. Listeners, if you're still here, thank you for being here. If you're not here, come back next week. There'll probably be less goat Heidi. And go on over to jkwdpodcast.com for show notes to this. Not that you want to see where we got that information. Go visit our friends at kettleandfire.com and get your 10% off with code BetterHumanhood at checkout. And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Show notes and more at jkwdpodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share with your friends. And we will see you next week. Bye. Humanhood production.